So, good evening, cuties, and welcome to another amazing episode of Inspiring Young Minds. Today, we are in session 35, and it's a very, very important topic I'm going to talk to you today. Okay? So, listen, concentrate, and understand it much better because we all need to know this not only in when you are small children or when you are in school, but you should know it everywhere. Okay? So today's topic is a little bit serious, but I'm going to make it as simple as possible for all of you to understand. So there are many times when you go to school and some friends are not very nice to you. They bully you. Sometimes they push you, not intentionally they push you, not like by mistake. No, they wantedly they push you, and sometimes they shout at you, and sometimes they are not very nice with you. And then what you feel very sad inside. When you come back home, you feel like crying, you feel like telling somebody, or sometimes you become very silent, right? Am I right? So it is very important. We need to understand and also acknowledge why we are feeling all like this. So let's look into that. Okay. So I'm going to share my screen. So we are at Inspiring Young Minds session 35, and today we're going to talk about bullying and violence, right? So violence is an extreme form of aggression. So when somebody is like not, liking things around them, they become very angry and then they start to harm others. Now this harm can be something which can affect the opposite person also. And it can cause sometimes a lot of mental agony wherein they will not feel comfortable with themselves at all. So it might be so many things which they would do, which is not very nice to them. So, the anger will come and they will sometimes push you down, they'll hit you, they will, you would see a lot of things in even movies you will see, or sometimes on the road you will see some people just fighting, or they would have touched somebody without their, acceptance, and they will also kill people. So, there are a lot of things which could happen. So violence has many, many causes, and this one of them could also include frustration. Now, what is frustration? It means like, when things are not going your way, you get angry, you feel like, you want to hit something. Now, from where do you get these feelings? Sometimes when you would have seen somebody doing it, or when you are watching it in the TV, or you would have seen somebody hit somebody in reality, near your friend's house or something like that. And that is why when you see somebody doing bad, you want to hit something or somebody back, right? So we need to stop violence, my dear children. We should not do these things, right? So what does bullying mean? Bullying basically means when there is somebody who thinks they are very superior and they are becoming very aggressive, and they are trying to intentionally and repetitively, which means every time after time, they always do this, and they do it with intention. They want to hurt you, they want to do this to you. That is very important. And it is always the higher person or the higher authority or the bigger person who wants to do this. And it also makes the other person a victim. Victim means a person who's going through or who's getting suppressed in this kind of a behavior. The negative effects of bullying on an individual's mental and physical health are substantial, and that is why we need to understand this a lot more better. So when we are actually looking at these bullying concepts, we need to understand it much better, because it involves the person's mental, which means what they think, what they feel, and how are they able to communicate with outside world, and the physical health also. Sometimes people don't eat at all and they become very thin. Sometimes they overeat and put on weight and become fat. So it is very important. We need to understand that. So in school, what all could be the ways of violence in school, or these kind of bullying activity? You could be bullying them in person. You can speak something bad to them or do something bad. You can play with them. You can hurt them, punch them, slap them, kick them. You can do so many things. You could also hit them or poke them with instruments like sharp instruments, or together you can gang up with your friends and make the other person feel very bad. And you could also behave badly to the opposite gender. It could be a boy to a girl or a girl to a boy. So these could be the different types of violence. Now, when you look at violence, especially in children, below 5 years, it could be like, you might be treated bad. When you ask for something, they might not get. You would not get proper food or education, or, they would have hurt you by a physical being. They would have touched you in a physical being. So that all could be a little more, complicated. And then when you look between 5 to 10 years, I'm sure most of you are in that age, you will see that, this bullying is there, and it goes up till when you are 18 years of age too. You have also youth violence. Youth violence happens when you are in a teenager, right? And then you could have it with your partner or your friend, very close friend. You could, fight or do anything. And you could have spiritual violence. People are not very harmonious when they speak about their religion. They are always fighting over religion. Any religion you speak, they don't talk about fight, but people fight in the name of religion and other cultural differences. And it could be verbal abuse. You will use words which are not very nice to hear. And there could be also financial abuse, which means abuse when you're taking money and you're not paying it properly, that way. And children that experience this verbal and physical bullying develop this kind of depression. Depression means feeling sad. So when you look at a child, sometimes you might not know it. So what or how do we, kind of understand that a child is depressed? So you can look at these 8 factors. One is changes in weight. Suddenly, a fat person suddenly becomes thin, or a thin person suddenly is putting on weight. So when there is changes of weight, then you can think that the child is depressed. There could be disturbance in sleep patterns. When you're sleeping, you're either getting up in the middle and crying, or you're scared, you're not sleeping properly, all that. Then unusual or persistent sadness or irritability. You are sad, you are feeling bad, you're feeling upset. Or it could be like, you don't have interest in anything. You don't want to do anything. You don't want to eat, you don't want to sleep, you don't want to play, you don't want to watch any TV or be with your family. You don't want to read, you don't want to do your exams. You feel very sad. It affects in a lot of activities. Then sluggishness, which means like, whatever work you do, you're doing very slowly. You are, just dragging yourself to do a job. Lower self-esteem. People say if you dress up well, you have a better self-esteem. So it's very important for us to look good. So how do you increase your self-esteem? We spoke about that few classes before. You have to dress well, feel good about yourself, put on a smile, have a good attitude, all that you should do. Then feeling hopelessness. Hopelessness means you feel, oh, I'm not good at anything. Nothing works out for me. This is the way, that is the way. You feel very sad and you keep talking things like this. And some people think, okay, I don't want to live, I want to die. They keep saying that, especially if you're in the teenager, they would say that, right? So it's very important for us to identify this symptoms, because if you don't see that, it could exist even later in life that, you're being bullied. So generally, what is violence in school is typically defined as, anything that takes place inside the educational institution, which means when you go to school, either when you're in a school bus or a school van or a trip you're going, or when you're traveling in and out of school or inside the school, any such activity can be a problem. And we need to understand these children who have been subjected to these violence. So how do you understand that the teacher, when the child is subjected to these kind of violence? It is very important for us to understand that we need to work out on our physical body and our mental emotional state with a lot of comfort to understand this. Now, if somebody is touching you and you don't like it, you can tell them, see, I'm sorry, I'm not interested, don't touch me, and it really hurts and things like that. And in case you feel that somebody is hurting you in terms of words, so that you can't hear it, you feel very sad, whenever they say, you feel like crying, you are not happy, so then again it is a kind of a bullying. So we need to be very understanding about all these important points, and you should understand on the effect of short-term and long-term negative outcomes. Like I told you, you'll feel sad, you'll feel bad, you'll not feel like doing anything, you'll lose weight, you'll not feel like working, you'll feel very slow. All this will be your short and long term. So in school, what will happen if you are subjected to such violence? You'll have loss of concentration, your grades or your exam marks will come down. You will not feel like going to school. You'll want to bunk classes. You'll say, okay, I'm not going to school today. I don't like that teacher. It is raining. You will give so many excuses not to go. And it is lost time. Like, you will not feel like doing what you have to do. So that's also a problem. And this can have a negative impact not only on that class of yours, but throughout your entire life. So it is very important that we need to maintain and understand all about these kind of violence, and should not leave any negative impact on yourself. Okay, so all of us have to be healthy. So how can we diffuse such violent situations? First is, you first check yourself. Are you happy? Remember a few weeks before I taught you, when you just get out of bed, or even when you're lying down and you've just opened your eyes, I told you, first thank God. Thank God for your day which you've got. Thank God for the eyes, the nose, and every part of your body. And, say thank you, be in gratitude. So when you are in gratitude, you feel happy. Now, if you're getting up in a very sad mood, in a very depressed, like you can see this child in this picture, very sad, he's feeling very low, then you will not be very happy that particular day. So situational awareness is very good. Next is, take care with your words. Whenever you want to speak anything bad or rude, you can say, first say, stay calm, or calm down, or, relax, or something like that, so that you can work on yourself. Next is, acknowledge the problem. When I say acknowledge the problem, I mean you take whatever problem it is and then address it. Say, yes, I have this issue. Now, what can I do about it? How can I make it better? And be a great listener. If somebody of your friends are coming to you and talk to you, you should be a good listener. You should listen to them fully and then be empathetic. Don't keep saying, oh, it doesn't happen, you thought it that way. Don't be very aggressive with them. Always tell them, yes, I understand, I am with you. Tell those words and use silence. Sometimes your friend might just need you to just listen to them. They don't want anything else. So, when you listen, it becomes much better. And in case they ask for any suggestions, definitely you can, give them different choices. So how can you protect yourself from violence? Now, that is very important. So these are the 5 main rules to protect yourself. Somebody is harming you. How do you do that? So first rule is, avoid any such situations. Don't be anywhere close to such people. Be aware of your surroundings. Even when you're walking separately or anything like that, you have to be very careful. Next is, be confident. So be very bold, be very confident. And 4 is, be in control. So that is also very important. And rule 5 is to leave the situation. And what is a bonus rule? Means be prepared. That means be aware always. So that is very important. So with that, we actually come to the end of today's presentation. I have an activity for you. Share how you will contribute towards being a positive influence. Imagine one of your friends has had a very bad experience and is coming and sharing with you. What will you do? How will you contribute? What are these things which you will do, like that small child talking to her elder brother. So how would you be that person to help your friend? So we at Inspiring Young Minds talk about different subjects for our children. You could like, share, subscribe, comment, or press the bell icon for Team Red Rockstars, Dr. Vidyaa Smile Dental Clinic. And with that, I come to the end of today's presentation, and I'm going to, yes. Okay, children. So now I want you to understand that there are times in school when, people are not nice to you. Sometimes even at home, they might not be nice to you. You might have your neighbors who are not nice to you. They don't want to play with you. They don't want to give gifts to you. They don't want to share their toys with you. Sometimes they would come to your house and play with your toys. And sometimes when you go to their house, they will not allow you to touch theirs. So I want you to understand that we need to definitely talk to them, make them feel nice, and see if it works out. But if it doesn't work out, you don't have to become a victim. You don't have to feel sad that they have hurt you and things like that. Okay? Done? So I saw Adira's hands going up. So yes, Adira, you wanted to tell something?
Yes, ma'am. I love this class so much because if I go to school, it is very important for us. And I can't do violence and bullying.
Correct. Very true. See, this can happen even when you become big, okay? Not only in school, maybe in workplace also, maybe somewhere else, even when you're on the road or when you're traveling in the school bus or auto. Some people are mean, right? They don't want to do good things. So you should be very careful that you are doing good things and making people feel happy. Okay?
But I don't say I have fighted.
Not you. Somebody else does it. You should say, don't do that.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Yes, Kavin. Very good. I can't hear you.
Hello.
Now I can hear. Now, yes. Yes, Kavin.
Thank you. When I was going to school, when it was playtime, I saw people pushed people.
You saw people push people? Is that a good thing or is that a bad thing?
Bad thing.
Bad thing. So if it is a person, when you can go and say, you can say, don't do this. It is wrong. You can say that, right?
Yeah. It seems he said that and they stopped.
Oh, that's wonderful.
He didn't say stop. But did you say stop? He didn't say sorry to him too. Oh, okay.
He didn't say sorry.
Did he say sorry? A person could tell to the teacher. The person could tell to the teacher that someone's hurting him.
Oh, yes. Whenever somebody is hurting you and you're feeling very sad, you see in that room, remember I taught you the safe circle? I told you can say your parents, you can say some aunt or uncle, you can say your teacher in school or your grandparents or somebody whom you like, right? So you can say to somebody who's in your safe circle, right? You can either complain, you can say, see, that person is hurting me. And you can say the situation, okay? So that safe circle person who's elder, they will come and protect you. Okay, what do I mean by protect?
What does she mean by protect? She means come and help.
Yeah, protect means help you. Okay? Good.
I thought this session was really nice because I personally haven't been bullied before. But people who have been bullied, I know it's really painful because I have witnessed it before. So people in my old school didn't make it clear that bullying doesn't only happen in one day. If it constantly keeps happening and it really hurts you, that is bullying. And sometimes, like you said, it can really affect people's mental health. And I think this was such a very important topic and a very serious topic that Atta, you made so much clearer for us. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Devna. I would definitely like to tell you this because, see, you just changed schools, right? So when you're new to a class, or when you're going somewhere, a place which is very new to you, what do you expect people to do? You want people to say, "Hey, hi, I'm your friend. My name is so and so. What's yours? Can we be friends?" And shake hands with you. I mean, that is what you want to be told to. But sometimes they will not talk to you. They'll say, "Who's this new girl? Why should I talk? Let her come and talk." You understand all this? So it will take time for all that. Until and unless it becomes like they're ganging against you, then it is wrong. Otherwise, this taking time to break the ice is fine. So this could happen in schools, especially when they see somebody not wearing neat clothes and coming, or the shoe is not kept, or the hair is not done properly. They will start teasing people. Correct? So they will say, "Hey, look at that person's clothes. Look at that person this," right? And that should not be done. And especially sometimes even when the marks are low, right? In the classroom, when the marks are low, when you don't get very good marks and your teacher has said, "No, I don't like this, you have to study." And at that time, after the teacher goes, your friends or some other people will come and tell you, "What, you got marks, very bad marks," like this, and all. They'll start to irritate you, poke you, right? So, or instigate you. They will, keep on telling you something that after a certain point you get angry and you want to hit the person up, right? So
they want to poke you and they want you to get in trouble. And then, oh my God, I've witnessed that so many times.
Yes, you're right.
They want to get you in trouble and not themselves in trouble.
True. So when situations like that come, what should you do? You can do a very small thing. First thing is, you can go to your safe circle and tell them, like, this person is hurting me and I'm not liking it. They said this to me, things like that. Second, you can count 10 to 1 in slow way. Like, close your eyes, take a deep breath in and out, and they say 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Again, a deep breath in and out, and then relax. You can do that also. Yes, Sadhara, I saw your hands going up again.
When I see someone is fighting me, I relax myself and go to my mother and said, "She's here hurting me."
Correct. That is the best thing you should do. Because sometimes, what will happen? If you go and fight, they will say you only started the fight. So you have to be very careful, right? Yes, Mahek, I can see you.
Today's session was really nice, ma'am, and it was a great topic. But I have not seen anyone get bullied yet, but I've seen in some social media, and that is indeed a really good topic for those who don't know and those who get bullied. So thank you so much, ma'am. It was really nice.
Thank you, Mahek. It is very important for us to know things, because we need to understand that, these things could be a question in later life, right? So whenever you see something bad happening, it is always good to go and say, "Don't do that. That's wrong." You can say that, right? Especially when you see some people, some strong people hurting the weak people, all that only we can stop it, or we can avoid it. So we should stop violence. What do you think? Yes, we should stop violence, right? So from now onwards, you remember we did a session on the 5 senses. We did a homework on the 5 senses. You remember that? So like that, we should always remember, with the 5 senses, we should do good things. So when you see the good things. When you speak the good things. When you hear the good things. And when you do, do the good things, right? Right? And when you think the good things too. Okay? Is that good? So use your, wisdom or your knowledge and help others have a better life. Okay? So next week we'll have some colors and paints and art. Would that be good? Yes? Okay, so keep all your colors and be ready next week. We'll have another amazing session. Okay? Take care. Love
Thank you,
you.
ma'am. Bye, ma'am.
Bye-bye. Bye. Bye, Aruhi.
Bye, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Aruhi. Take care. Bye-bye.